Hey everyone, welcome back to another VBC Daily 3. I'm Matthew Nicosia, Associate Pastor at Valley Bible Church. And yes, I'm recording today's video from my bathroom. And I'll explain to you why in just a moment. But today's passage comes from James chapter 1, verses 22 through 27. It's found in the New Testament, book of James, chapter 1, verses 22 through 27. And I invite you, go read that 3 times if you haven't done that already. That's what we do with every VBC Daily 3 passage. We read it 3 times, and then we ask 3 questions of the text. What does it say about God? What does it say about us? And then finally, what are we going to do about it? Well, first of all, what does this passage say about God? It says that he's given to us a perfect law of liberty. Now, for those of us that don't have a right relationship with God through Jesus Christ, that law, his commands that stand against us aren't liberating. In fact, they're enslaving because of our rebellion and our sin. God is a good God. He gives us a good law, but our sinful hearts rebel against them, and we're enslaved by our passions and desires to be finding that this law brings us not life and liberty, but enslavement and death. But when we turn to Jesus, we find that this law actually is liberating to us. I don't have to live according to my sinful passions any longer. I can be free to live in a good and healthy and life-giving way by obeying Jesus' commands. And so that's why he calls it the law of liberty. Well, what does it say about us? It says that law is actually like a mirror to us. And that's why I'm in my bathroom today. This is where I actually shave, and it's looking like, yeah, I probably need to do that soon. But I've got my mirror and I've got my razor that I use every single time I do that. And for those of us that look into this law of liberty, it's like a mirror to us. For the foolish people, it says that we look into that law and we walk away totally unchanged. We don't actually examine our hearts and our lives to see, am I living according to God's liberating, freeing standards in my life? But for those of us that are followers of Jesus and that actually recognize what Pastor Paul said yesterday in his sermon, that Jesus doesn't follow us, but we follow him first. We look into that law of liberty that Jesus has given to us and we say, I have this that I need to change in my life. I'm not obeying this command. I need to repent and turn and start following Jesus. So that's what it says about us. We look at this law of liberty like a mirror. And for those of us that are truly practicing following Jesus first, we're going to obey his commands. Well, what are we supposed to do about it? Right at the end of this passage, it says, pure and undefiled religion. And don't be afraid of that word religion. All it means is observances and practices in accordance with your beliefs. Pure and good and undefiled religion is to keep your tongue from speaking evil things, to care for those that are in need, especially widows and orphans in their distress, and to keep oneself from being polluted or stained by the world. And so tomorrow we're going to pray about this passage. And I want to invite you to look at it and look into God's law of liberty, which isn't an actual mirror. This is his mirror. Look into his law of liberty and examine yourself. Am I living in a way that has self-control over the words that I say? Do I really have a heart that cares for those that are truly in need? And am I keeping myself unpolluted and unstained from the sin of this world? This is what it means to follow Jesus first, because he doesn't follow us, we follow him. That's our passage today, and I hope that tomorrow you'll join us for prayer. But until then, would you take some moment and some time to actually look into God's law of liberty? Hey, thanks for joining us today. We'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget to like and share this. And we love you so much, Valley Bible Church. We'll see you later. Bye.